This is a severe weather alert.
All right, it's currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm Fred Gossage along with Brian Wilson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with an update on the severe weather situation for this afternoon. No warnings in the viewing area for right now, but we still have this tornado watch in effect for a large part of southern Middle Tennessee back into North Mississippi. That's the counties in the dark shade of red. That is a tornado watch from now until 7 p.m. in our viewing area in Tennessee. That includes Hardin, Wayne, Lawrence, Lewis, and Murray counties. Also in Mississippi in our viewing area, Tishomingo County in Mississippi, tornado watch till 7 o'clock. For now, that does not include Marshall or Giles counties in Tennessee, and it does not include any part of Northwest Alabama. However, and I want to stress, however, it is exceptionally likely that a tornado watch will be issued across the rest of our viewing area as we get a little deeper into the afternoon and the storms get a little closer to the area. They're just a few hours too far away for a tornado watch to be needed east of the current one yet, but that will be coming later this afternoon. Once that's issued, we will have that information. We're going to live Viper radar and talk about what's going on now. Do a Skycam tour here in a minute as well, and not anything going on across the local area. Right now we're quiet. We've had a few light sprinkles and showers across our immediate part of southern Middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama. But as we look off to the west in the western areas of Tennessee, we've had a few long track supercells evolve out of this band over the past hour or two. You can see a tornado warning here southeast of the Dyersburg area. We've actually had significant tornado damage back in western Tennessee earlier this afternoon, at least at a fire department. It looks like substantial structural damage there. We've also had some reports of entrapment from a roof collapse near that area. So we've already had some significant damage from the first real storm of the day. And you may have heard folks like James Spann and others talk over the years, the veteran meteorologists in our area that have worked severe weather for decades, that often the first storm of the day tells you a story. It gives you a hint at what the environment is capable of for the rest of the day. So the fact that the first storm of the day from the overall event has already produced significant damage, that gets our attention a little. So we're going to have to pay attention as we head through the afternoon and the evening. Nothing threatening nearby, but I think later this afternoon, after about 3 o'clock or so, and especially headed toward 4 or 5 o'clock and into the evening, I think that's when we're really going to have to watch out for strong to severe thunderstorms in our viewing area here across southern Middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama, northeast Mississippi. We'll go to the Arcterra Skycam network, take the Lawrenceburg camera first, and check out conditions across the area. And, well, you may have to do this the old-fashioned way, doing the frames. I guess that did not save the new menu there. So we'll turn that off and we'll pull them up frames. We'll do Lawrenceburg first, and then we'll do the UNA camera next. Okay. And then I'll get that fixed before 2 o'clock. All right. Mostly cloudy conditions across the area. We've seen some sun breaking out from time to time. And as you look on the horizon here, and this is looking down closer to North Alabama and far southern Lawrence County in Tennessee here on the horizon, you see some breaks in the clouds with some sunshine coming in. It's 64 degrees and dew point is 60 here in Lawrenceburg. On most severe weather days, you would see 64 degrees and you think it's not all that unstable. However, today, it's a lot colder in the upper part of the atmosphere than it is on most severe weather events. And instability for thunderstorms is not just what's at the ground. It's a function of the entire column of the atmosphere. And when you're this cold in the upstairs, it doesn't have to be as warm and moist as usual at the surface. So on a day when we have this much cold air in the upper level parts of the atmosphere, a temperature of 64 or 65 today is going to function the same way as a temperature of 72 or 73 would on most of our severe weather days. So we don't have to hit the 70s today. Now, some locations may get into the 70s, and that adds more fuel to the fire. However, just some mid-60s today, and we already have sufficient instability for severe weather. We'll go to the Florence UNA camera and check out the shoals and current conditions there. And it's going to be a little warmer down in northwest Alabama, but that's spreading northward across the area. Here's the Florence UNA cam popping up, 67 degrees with a dew point of 62. And you notice the south-southeast to southwest winds that's pulling in that humid air across the area and setting the stage for the stronger storms later today. We'll flip back over to links 1 and we'll talk about the threat areas and time everything out. There's still a standard level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather across the entire viewing area of southern Middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama, and northeast Mississippi for this afternoon and through at least the first half of the overnight. Now, this is still not some higher end type severe weather threat. This is also not an absolute guarantee. There are some ingredients that aren't quite as favorable as they otherwise could be, but I do think we have enough ingredients on the board this afternoon that we have to pay attention to everything, because there is the threat of a few tornadoes being involved with the storms, and we're already seeing that off to the west. Also, some of the strongest storms may have isolated areas of 50 to 65 mile per hour winds, quarter to half dollar size hail possible with a couple of the storms. We'll also be watching out for localized street flooding this evening, because we may see a solid 1 to 1.5, maybe 2 inches of rain as that slower moving band of thunderstorms moves into the area. So we're going to time it out with a high resolution Futurecast. By 2 o'clock, you see these supercells up in western Tennessee, still moving northeastward across the area. Most of our area between the mid to upper 60s, a few folks getting near 70. You see a few sun breaks where we don't have showers ongoing. As we work through the afternoon, we continue to be unstable. And then by 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to be watching out ahead of this main line for the potential for these isolated individual storms to develop over northwest Alabama up into southern Middle Tennessee. Don't pay attention to the exact specific town you see one modeled over, just the idea that they may be out there. Those are the thunderstorms we're going to have to watch for the potential for rotation and a tornado threat, the relatively greater threat. It's not a big tornado threat, but those will have the higher tornado threat relative to the line itself. Now by 6, 7, 8 o'clock, this line is slowly moving into the area. Still some storms ahead of it. Notice the line itself is broken, so there could still be some embedded supercells in the line. But as we get deeper into the late evening, the atmosphere starts to stabilize a little bit. And I do think toward 9, 10, 11 o'clock, this transitions from a damaging wind and tornado threat to mainly a heavy rain threat. I think by 10 or 11 o'clock, the severe weather threat's mainly over as cooler air rushes in. But even after that, there will likely be some pockets of heavy rain and thunder all the way through daybreak. So don't let that fool you. After the severe weather threat's over, you may hear some thunder still into the overnight hours. So with the tornado watch in place now, this is a final tap on your shoulder to let you know that you need to be ready this afternoon for the potential for severe weather. You have to have your plan in place ahead of time before these storms get here. Number one, you have to have multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings. The baseline is a NOAA weather radio. That's the radio that's hooked up to the National Weather Service feed. It does that loud alarm in your home. That will wake you out of your sleep in most cases if there is a warning. You're probably not going to be awakened out of your sleep overnight during a loud storm outside and there's a tornado warning from a siren outside. Sirens serve a purpose, but they are only meant to warn people outdoors to seek additional information. You're putting your life in danger if you rely on a siren to wake you out of your sleep. You also have the option of these wireless emergency alerts built into your smartphone. That's automatic. That's completely free from the U.S. government. That's not just Amber Alerts. They push out tornado warnings too. Good idea to make sure those are toggled on in your phone. Also, our free Tennessee Valley Weather app, and I'll talk about that in just a moment, how you can get that. And then, once you have reliable ways of hearing warnings, you need to know in advance where your safe place is going to be, where you will go if a warning is issued. Think about those basic tornado rules that we know from living here all these years. Small room, lowest floor, near the center of the building, away from windows, out of mobile homes. That's very important. You cannot stay in a mobile home or vehicle during a tornado situation. Those are dangerous. Wonderful affordable housing. I lived in one for most of my life. So not actually knocking mobile homes, but they're not safe in high winds and tornado situations. And you also need a way of having sturdy protection from your head and neck in case there's the unfortunate event that you do have damage at your home and there's flying debris. We've learned over the years in these tornado situations, the majority of people that are hurt and killed in tornadoes It's because of injuries, because of flying debris to the head and neck. Something as simple and as cheap as a $5 bicycle helmet can save your life. And it's not just kids, it's everyone in the family. If you don't have a bicycle helmet, maybe the kids have football helmets, other kind of sports helmets, motorcycle helmets, construction hard hats, even a metal cooking pot if you don't have anything else, sturdy textbooks, pillows, blankets, anything to protect your head and neck from flying debris. That's a main critical key during seeking shelter in a tornado. Protecting your head and neck greatly reduces your possibility of being severely hurt or killed in the event, not just today, but anytime there's a tornado, if you were actually hit by a tornado itself. So keep that in mind. Here are the shelter options and which ones are good and which ones are bad. Like we talked about, the worst place you can be in a tornado is either in a vehicle or a mobile home, also under a bridge or an overpasses. Those are not safe places because the wind gets funneled in under that bridge, and as the wind is restricted, it actually speeds through under there and gets faster. Also, the only possible safe place you could be under a bridge or overpass is up in the girders, and then you're putting yourself higher into the wind field, and tornado winds actually increase off the ground once you get a little bit higher. So you're putting yourself in danger, and people have been killed over the years from trying to seek shelter under a bridge or overpass. And it doesn't matter what type of tornado it is. It doesn't matter if it's an EF0, an EF5, anything in between. It doesn't matter if it's a low end threat, a higher end threat. All these rules work the same way because a tornado is a tornado. They're all dangerous no matter what flavor of tornado they are. You have to take them all seriously. Large open rooms like gymnasiums, large retail sales floors, because those large free span roofs, they're not held up well. They're not safe in tornado situations either. Now, those type of establishments have safe places for the most part, back in the back, in hallways, bathrooms, things like that, where you can shelter, but actually out on the sales floor in the gymnasium itself, those are not safe places. Also, manufactured housing that's not in the form of trailer homes, but those modular homes that they're built in pieces off-site and then they're brought to the location. Some of the ones that have not been built in the past 3 years or so, that were built 10, 15 years ago, those aren't quite as safe either. Now, over the past few years, there have been stricter construction codes with those type of homes to where those are more anchored to the foundation. 10, 15 years ago and beyond with those modular homes, that's not the case. So that's why we recommend that as a red flag as well. Best place you can be is a tornado shelter or a certified safe room or underground in a basement or the cellar, something like that. However, we know that many people don't have that option. And in almost every tornado situation you will encounter in your life, it's survivable above ground. In almost every situation, you can survive a direct tornado hit above ground. So if you don't have an underground shelter, you don't have a basement, don't panic, don't be scared. Just go to a small interior room, such as a bathroom, a hallway, or a closet on the lowest floor. If you're on floor 2, you go down to floor 1. Low as you can get, near the center of the building, in a small interior room, and you want to stay away from windows, sliding glass doors. But again, you cannot stay in vehicles. You cannot stay in mobile homes. You need to get out of those, head to a sturdy shelter, and you don't wait until a storm is 5 minutes away, moving at you at 60 miles per hour to decide, oh, hey, I need to do something about it. The best way you can stay in touch with us today, if you're away from your smart TV, if you're away from your computer, if you're on your mobile device, especially if you have to be in your shelter location today, is our free Tennessee Valley Weather app. I'll step off screen here so we can talk about this. That is a completely free download in the Apple App Store or Google Play. If you're watching us on your smart TV or your computer, you can hold your phone up to the screen, scan that QR code. But if you're on your mobile device watching us, just go to your app store, search for Tennessee Valley Weather. It is a free download. It will always be free. The app includes the Viper interactive radar. You can track storms in your area with us on radar all the way down the street level. You have an hourly and 7-day forecast that follows you around, and you can also set multiple locations to monitor. You get push notifications for watches and warnings. You also have built into the app a live streaming link to our 24/7 digital weather channel. The reason why that's so critical today is that's how you can watch our live severe weather coverage if there are warnings, including that's how you can watch our live coverage if you have to hunker down in your safe space. So it's a really good idea, if you haven't already downloaded this app, to download this app. It's completely free, and it always will be. And then if you want to watch us on your smart TV, you can pull us up on YouTube. You can pull us up on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Roku. We have apps for these, and you can pull us on YouTube. Search for Tennessee Valley Weather, and all these smart TV apps are free as well. And we will have live coverage should warnings be issued. These are the 14 counties we serve across southern Middle Tennessee, northwest Alabama, and northeast Mississippi. If any of these 14 counties this afternoon are issued a tornado warning, we will be live nonstop on every single platform we have until the danger is over. And we don't prioritize one of these counties over the other. All 14 are treated equally, and we provide equal coverage no matter which 14 of these counties it is. And that coverage commitment is a promise that we make 24/7, 365, no matter what time of the day it is, no matter what day of the year it is. It can be 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas morning, and if there's a tornado warning for one of these 14 counties, we're going to be here nonstop live on all platforms until the danger is over. So to recap this, no warnings in effect for the area right now, but a tornado watch continues from now until 7 o'clock for the counties in the dark shade of red. In our viewing area, that's Tishomingo County, Mississippi, Hardin, Wayne, Lawrence, Lewis, and Murray counties in Tennessee. East of there, Giles and Marshall counties, Tennessee, northwest Alabama. You're not under the tornado watch yet. You will be this afternoon when the storms get closer. As long as we have the watch in effect, we'll have live updates at the top of every hour, sooner if necessary. And as we mentioned, should any tornado warnings be issued in the viewing area, we'll be live nonstop until the danger is over. For Brian Wilson, I'm Fred Gossage, live from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. We'll keep you advised.